Wrestling Rampage here, back with another video.
We are back with another video. This is Wrestling Rampage, and as you can tell by the title, this is something that a little bit different that we're going to do for a lot of other. Like, I know that some people don't watch, they're not the biggest fan of WWE or TNA and everything, and so we're going to switch it up and give you guys a little history lesson and show you guys a few things about. There's a hardcore wrestling.
There was.
Well, there was. It disbanded in 2001 or 2002. It's one of them two. I think it was early 2002. There was a hardcore wrestling federation in Japan called FMW, Frontier Martial Arts Wrestling. And some people do know about it, some people don't know about it. It was founded in 1989 by
Onita.
By Onita. You guys would know who Onita is, especially in Japan wrestling. He's pretty much a legend down there. And he founded FMW, and they did a lot of hardcore wrestling, especially before hardcore wrestling was cool, especially when ECW came out.
They did this before ECW.
Yes. And Paul Heyman even says this on the ECW Rise and Fall DVD, that he ripped off FMW.
Yeah.
Because he seen Sabu wrestle on FMW, and he took Sabu, and then he started taking FMW style.
Yeah.
And it's cool because later on, FMW and ECW started having a working relationship.
Yeah.
So you've seen...
They would trade talent.
Yeah, they would trade talent. You've seen some FMW stars on ECW television. You've seen some ECW stars on FMW shows. And right now, I'm going to show you some DVDs that I ended up buying. You're going to know some of these names, you can always look them up online. You can look at it right here up on YouTube. You can just type in FMW Wrestling, and they do have some wrestling on there that, if you don't talk, if you don't speak Japanese, that's fine. They also got some ones on there that have English.
Yes.
These DVDs are in English. Here's one right now, the Yokohama Deathmatch DVD, where Cactus Jack comes back right there. Then you got, if you guys remember the Headhunters,
from Royal Rumble '96.
Yeah, they're right there. You got Terry Funk.
You got Leatherface, who was Corporal Kirshner.
Yeah, back in the WWF days in the 80s. And little known fact, you also got Hakushi.
Yes, Hakushi.
Hakushi's on this DVD. You got Takamichi Nuku on this DVD. Ricky Fuji, who's wrestled in different parts. He's wrestled in Canada. He's wrestled in the States. And of course you got, one of the greatest, and pretty much the John Cena of FMW.
Yeah, Hayabusa.
I bought these DVDs, and they were really cheap too. We learned about FMW a long time ago.
Yes.
Unfortunately, they did have some financial trouble, and they did crumble, and gone out of business back in 2002. I got this one. War of Attrition, Egos Collide. Actually, on this one, I think this is the one where they have the ECW wrestlers on. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Actually, here, let me open this. And they got Axel Rotten versus Kinemura. Kinemura he used to be a clown.
Yeah.
He started wrestling. Masato Tanaka versus Balls Mahoney. Balls Mahoney, Axel Rotten, Tajiri, and Super Crazy versus Kinemura. I can't pronounce that guy's name, but and Jado and Jito. And then you got H, who was Hayabusa versus and Mr. Gano's Day versus Masato Tanaka and Kurode, I believe is his name. But anyway, you got some ECW stars on this one, which is their working relationship. They also had a television deal on DirecTV at one point in Japan. And don't think it's just guys that does the hardcore wrestling in FMW. Torn to Shreds is just women doing this. And, you got on the back here Kato versus Shark, Kinru versus Combat Mother-in-Law, which that was a epic match. It was a death match.
Yep, and it was a good one.
Barbed wire death match. They hit the barbed wire. The barbed wire exploded. And you see it all.
Yeah, it's fucking good.
It is.
If you like hardcore wrestling.
Especially if you like hardcore wrestling, and if you want to look for something different to watch, I suggest these DVDs, or you can look them up online with YouTube and things like that. Rule the Asylum Champions of FMW. And right there on the front, if you notice that right there, that is Mike Awesome, the Gladiator. You got Masato Tanaka versus Kinemura. Hayabusa versus Oyo. Mike Awesome versus Masato Tanaka. Yeah, that sounds familiar, doesn't it, ECW? They did it in FMW too. Mike Awesome versus Kinemura. Mr. Gano's Day versus Hayabusa. The list goes on and on with a lot of these, great matches. I mean, they were great matches.
Yes,
really hardcore and bloody matches. Which is the same reason why I got these DVDs. I think I bought them on eBay. There was a lot of 7. They were brand new. I only paid $25 for them because this is the first one I ever got. It's called King of the Death Match, and it has Cactus Jack coming in against Kinemura in a death match. And as you can tell right there, there's a bloody face and barbed wire, and there's that's a bat or a bottle or something, but he's jamming it into Cactus Jack's head. Masato Tanaka on the front. Just epic. You have Jason the Terrible on here. Hayabusa and Masato Tanaka versus Terry Funk and Mr. Pogo in a electric barbed wire ring match. And there's also a bomb underneath the ring that blows up if the match does not end in a certain amount of time, and i.e. it does blow up. Then you got Horace Boulder, for some of you guys that don't know who that is. That's
Horace Hogan.
Horace Hogan. Mike Awesome and Oil goes against Super Leather, Corporal Kinser, and the Headhunters. And you got a Takamichi Nuku match on here. Just epic, actually. This one's actually one of the first ones I watched. And of course, you get pretty much the face of FMW, Hayabusa. The Flying Assassin is what they called him in FMW. Tragically, his career did end to a neck injury. He was going to do a moonsault off the second rope. He slipped and fell right on his neck.
Yeah, broke his neck. And this right here pretty much is some of his greatest matches with Masato Tanaka, Mike Awesome, Mr. Gano's Day. anybody that came through FMW that was a big star
Faced Hayabusa.
Faced Hayabusa. And you guys can also look at the ECW pay-per-view.
Yes, he was on Heatwave 98. It's him and Hakushi versus Rob Van Dam and Sabu for the ECW tag titles.
So, like, if you guys don't want to look up FMW, looking on that Heatwave 98. You got Final Encounter Backdraft, and right there Sabu with Mr. Gano staying on the front. And these are just really good DVDs to have, because I do like hardcore wrestling.
Oh, I do too. I love hardcore wrestling.
And
not that CZW bullshit.
Yeah. See, don't get me wrong. I know hardcore wrestling's hardcore wrestling to some people, but I think that CZW does a poor portrayal of it, and
yes.
I think a lot of them that do it are really untrained and they're fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Where these guys have been trained, yes, they're putting on their bodies in the same manner,
but they get paid more money to do it.
Yes, and you're not getting paid $20 at some fucking parking lot. You're doing it in big shows.
Or fucking some glorified gymnasium.
That's right. And the last DVD here I actually got this one. It's Crash and Burn with Masato Tanaka on the front. I actually got this one at, surprisingly, FYE a long time ago. And I paid like $15 for it. That's the 7 I bought online. And then this one, I didn't have it, so I had to buy it, of course. And you got Mr. Pogo, Kinemura, Masato Tanaka. Of course, you have Hayabusa. They even got a special on here and how they made Hayabusa. You got interactive wrestling photo galleries on here, on all of them actually, where if you don't know who these guys are, you can look them, like they have a little picture where you can click on it and it gives you stats about them and everything else. That's pretty interesting too.
Yeah.
You don't see that a lot in wrestling DVDs. And then right there's Super Leather right there.
Which is Corporal Krishna again.
Yep. And there's Mr. Pogo blowing a fireball or whatever. Where you put the kerosene in the mouth and blow it out like Ricky the Dragon Steamboat did, but Steamboat did it up in the air. He's doing it to somebody. It's a little different. Yes, they really get hardcore on these, but I always enjoyed these DVDs. I watch them from time to time, and they do get hardcore.
Yes, they do.
And we were just wanting to give you a little backstory on it. Yeah, they did go under back in 2002 because of financial reasons, they started selling these DVDs, and of course I collect these DVDs, as you can tell. But we're just giving you a little backstory on that, about FMW, and show you guys some DVDs about it. Hopefully you guys will go and check it out, because I know that sometimes wrestling with TNA, Ring of Honor, WWE, current wrestling sometimes is stale, and sometimes you gotta look in the past.
Yeah.
You gotta look at the NWA, WCW, ECW, FMW,
AWA.
That's right.
Smoky Mountain, all fucking Global Wrestling Federation. You gotta look at the
New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Yeah.
But
all Japan Pro Wrestling.
Yes. So we wanted to give you guys another avenue to look at when it comes to FMW. It's not known anymore because they went out of business back in 2002. So it's not a real popular topic that much. So we said, hey, we're going to do a video on it. This is Wrestling Rampage. Make sure you like us on Facebook, facebook.com/WrestlingRampage2. Follow us on Twitter at WrestleRampage. And hit that subscribe button because we'll have other great videos coming to you guys. You do not want to miss the videos we're going to be coming out with next. And one last thing is thank you so much for your guys' support. We really appreciate it here at Wrestle Rampage.
Yes, we do.
Wrestle Rampage is that cream that rises to the top. That's right, the cream of the crop.
And nobody does it better.